such a bad mood. So, I have to film. Okay. Okay. We're just gonna throw a bunch of story times in together. Alright. Cool. I'm gonna be eating ice throughout this entire video. If it bothers you, I suggest you click off. Because you're really not gonna like this. I don't know. Does that bother people? I'm gonna choke. Martina chokes and dies on camera. Oh my god. I look awful. Okay. The first story time-ish. I'm gonna talk about 3.5 years ago. Yeah, 3.5 years ago. I went to a Shawn Mendes concert. You know, Shawn Mendes at that time, I was obsessed with him. Like, he was my boo. Literally, I've seen Shawn Mendes so many times. Me and my friends were, like, obsessed with Shawn. And, like, bro, we were at every single Toronto show that he performed at. Like, we were there. So this was, I think, his very, very, very first tour that he ever did. Like, his very first solo tour. So I remember I went with these two girls. We got meet and greet. And so after we met Shawn, so basically we got to the venue and then like we went in, we met Shawn, and then after that was over, like they stamped your wrist and then they stamped your ticket. And then they said, okay, so after you met Shawn, you have to get out of the venue and you just have to like chill until the concert begins. So then we'd have to get back in line to go into the concert when it began. While we were doing that, so while that like little break was going on, we went to Subway. So this part of Toronto, like, so the venue that Shawn performed at was like in a really, really like sketchy part of Toronto, right? My first time ever going to this venue, and so like I didn't know about that until like I literally got home, and my parents were like, oh, like that's like one of the sketchiest like areas in Toronto, and I was like, oh yeah, no wonder, which I'll tell you why in a second. We were in Subway and then we like walked out and we're just like, yo, this is kind of scary. Like it was already sketchy enough when we were lining up outside the venue to get inside for VIP. That was already really scary. Like everyone was just like, there's just like really weird people like walking through the streets. I don't know, like it was just really, you know, scary people. But like I didn't think it was like a big deal because like when you go to Toronto, that happens. You know, you go to New York, that happens. You go to LA, that happens. By the way, at this time we were like I was 13 at the time. Yeah, we were 13. So we started walking. Like the Subway wasn't even that far from the venue, so we started like walking towards the venue. And right across the venue, there's a Shoppers Drug Mart. And this, I'll tell you why it's important in just a second. And then there's like this like guy on a skateboard holding a beer bottle, and he's like talking to himself. Like he was really weird. So he's like speeding down on the skateboard while he was drunk, and we're just like, yo, like whoa, what is happening? So once we saw that, we all just like looked at each other and we're like, yo, we better run. We have to run because this place is scary. So our 13-year-old ass to start running. And then this guy, he's watching us run. He's like in front of us, and like, how do I put this? Like, he was like, okay, yeah, we actually went to cross the street, like and he was on the end of it, and he's watching us run. Like we're like running really fast. We're 13 years old. We don't know what's happening. We're just like, oh. So we're like literal like children, and so we're like running down the road, and then this guy starts barking at us and chasing us, and I'm just like, bro, what the hell? Like, you're crazy. We start like speeding down the road, and then we get right into like Shoppers Drug Mart, and then we went inside Shoppers Drug Mart for a second just to like chill because like the guy was chasing us. I lost my Shawn Mendes like the ticket for the concert. I lost it, and I didn't realize until like they were checking tickets when we got to the venue to get in for the concert. I didn't realize till literally I was at the girl who was like scanning tickets. I was like, bro, like I don't have my ticket, like I probably lost it when we were running, or like we were in Shoppers Drug Mart or something. But then they didn't even check for my ticket. They just saw that I had like this stamp. They're like, you can go, and I was supposed to get in. I was like, ooh, okay. Oh my god, this venue is so sketchy. Like every single time I go there, it's just like this is actually my least favorite venue that I've like ever been to, like a concert to. Like They are such a bad venue. Oh my god, this is going to turn into a rant, which is perfect because I'm in such a bad mood. So we're going to talk about how much I hate this venue. So this venue, I'm not going to say its name, I guess, because like that's, I don't want to, I don't know. It's literally the worst venue I've ever been to. The security are so rude. It's awful. This venue, it's like probably the biggest venue in Toronto. So if you live in Toronto, you probably know which one I'm talking about. This venue is so awful. Like I've been in this venue now 3 times. I try my best not to go to that venue for concerts, but you know, if like someone I really like is going, then like I have to go. But the security are really rude. They're not helpful at all if you have any problems. They literally have like the dirtiest bathrooms ever. Like it just, I hate it. And this venue, literally, so they're like the biggest venue, right? But they don't sell food. They don't sell water. They only sell alcohol, and I'm like 6, so like I can't get that. And if you want water, this is like, I hate, and they don't, like obviously they won't let you bring in water bottles because like that's kind of what like every single venue does. It's just so annoying because they don't even sell water there. And if you want water, they will give you water, which is tap water obviously, right? But they can't even put ice in the water. And they have ice for like the alcoholic drinks, but they can't put the ice inside the water. So they just give you warm water. I remember one time I was leaving with the water. I was leaving the venue with the water in my hand because I wanted to take that water for like the ride home because, you know. And the security guard stopped me before I like left the venue. So my camera died. I'm just gonna record the rest of this on my handy dandy phone. Yeah. Where was I? I was saying, oh yeah, so I don't even know if the camera got this part, like, but I was like leaving the venue with the cup of water in my hand that they provided me, and before I left, he's like, ma'am, you're going to have to throw that out before you leave. And I was like, what? I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, So yeah. Yeah, I love that place. Haha, just kidding. Also, so after I left without the water, because I threw it out, just like they told me to, we were waiting for my friend's mom to come pick us up. And we walk outside, and there's this girl like screaming at me for no reason. She was on drugs, but she was like screaming at me and then screaming at the wall and screaming like blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, oh. So how did this, I totally just like told a bunch of random little stories there. Another concert story time that I'm going to tell. So this happened in July, and I went to a Why Don't We concert. Why Don't We is a boy band, if you don't know who they are. I went to their concert. So in July, obviously it's hot. Because the summer. People think just because like Toronto's in Canada and like that it's super cold and that it doesn't get like hot in the summer. They think like we literally live in igloos and like ride polar bears. Like no. No, but like when it's the summer, it gets super hot, and especially because like I live in southern Canada, like it gets really hot. This will come into the story. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to, but, you know, something happened, so we're just gonna talk about that. But there's something in my eye! Okay. Ew, it's like... Okay. Whatever, I'm just gonna keep it in my eye, and if this eye turns red or starts crying, you know why. Because something that won't come out. So, for the Why Don't We concert, where do I even start? Like, I don't know how to start this, like, story. So I went to the event. So I got to the venue. So I met Why Don't We before the show. After I met them, I went into the crowd or whatever, blah, blah, blah. The venue that they were performing at, it unfortunately did not have, I'm pretty sure the I don't see why a venue wouldn't have air conditioning, because it's, especially when it's the summer and, you know, it's just, like, concerts get really hot, so, like, I don't see why they wouldn't have it. So either this venue did not have air conditioning or it wasn't working, but there was no air conditioning going on in that, like, concert, like, for sure. Like, unbearably hot. I really wanted to go to like in the crowd or like front row, but also there was a lot of people at this concert. Like the first time I saw Why Don't We, they had about 50 people at the show, and it was like I was like front row because it was really easy to get front row because it's like, you know, literally 50 people, right? Or 50, 100, less than 100 people at the show, right? And then they performed at this venue, and probably 600, 700 people. I don't know, maybe more, but there was a lot of other people, like you get the point. But I guess all of these new Why Don't We fans were just like, they went insane. Like everyone was pushing everybody. Like it was a really crazy show. My friend, she was front row, and when the concert was over, she like walked out and she was all sweaty and just like red, and she just like, I was like, oh my god, girl, how did you survive that? It was really hot, so I was like, there's no way I'm going like front row or like in the crowd, because I'm not trying to get dehydrated during this show. So there's like the venue that they're performing at, there was like this like deck kind of thingy. It's like on the side of like the venue, and it just basically just has like couches and like chairs and stuff. So me and the people I was with, we were just like standing on like the deck thingy, because, you know, so we're just chilling, like da 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 da, like dancing, blah blah blah. And then I at one point, like it even up in there was actually getting pretty hot. So a few times during the concert, like I had to go to the very back of the venue and go by the door and just like sit there because it was like cooler. So I remember I left at one point. I left, like it was like near like the end of the concert, or middle end of the concert. So I got up from the deck and I like left and I went to the back of the venue. I get to the back of the venue, I'm just like standing there, kind of like near where the crowd was, but I was at the very back. And then out of nowhere, this girl, like these two girls come up to me, and one of the girls vomits on my arm. You heard that right. A girl came up to me and vomited on my arm. Obviously not intentionally, like, oh my god, please, like, if you remember me, like, girl, if you remember me from the Why Don't We concert, I'm so sorry. I did not mean it, like, in that way. Like, I hope you're feeling better. But no, but like, so, she doesn't hate me if she sees this, I'm so sorry. But like, she just comes up to me and she throws up on my arm. I'm just like, and for anyone that knows me, like personally, ever since I was about 7 years old, I've had like a severe like fear, like phobia of vomit. And I don't know, like it's weird. It kind of, but thank God, like it kind of started getting a little bit better 2 years ago. Like it's not that bad, but like it used to be really bad. Like, oh wow, look at like the difference between my face, like the color. Like I can't wait for summer to be tan again. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. Oh, where was I? Oh, okay, so she comes and she pukes on my arm, and I like felt like I was gonna pass out. I was just like so disgusting and gross. But you know, that wasn't, you know, I was like just completely just like, what the heck just happened? And she like, and her friend just goes up to me. These kids were, I felt really bad. These girls were like 12 or 13, and they go up to me, like the girl, like her friend goes up to me. She's like, my friend is puking. Like I don't know what to do. Like blah blah blah. I was like, do I look like I know anything? Like nah. But you know, I was like, I'm not gonna be an asshole, so you know, let me help them. I was like, oh my god, girl, you just puked on my arm, like, are you good? So I was like, okay, here, let me help you. And then it was like literally something that would come out of like 7-year-old me's nightmare. Like a girl just following me around while she's puking. Like this girl is still puking. Like I actually felt so bad. She was like she puked all over her arms, all over her hands. I'm getting really, like, I'm sorry if you're not good with puke. I'm sorry for being so descriptive, but whatever. She's like puking all over her arms, and like it's like it was because of she was dehydrated. She was dehydrated, so that's why she puked. But like she didn't have anything to like throw up. It was just like the watery like puke. Just so nasty. Like I don't know how I survived that, but in the moment I was just like, girl, I just need to get this girl to a garbage can or to a security guard or whatever. So I'm just like, oh my god, okay, come with me. And like, with the puke still on my arm, but you know, I was just like, it's fine, you can wash it off. So
So I took her outside to the main area of the venue, and then after I take her to the security guards, I'm like, yeah, this girl's puking, like we gotta take her to her garbage, you know. So we take her to the garbage, she's just doing her stuff, and I'm just like, girl, do you need anything? Like, do you need like gum, water? And the security guard's like, she's fine, go back to the show. And I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry. So I leave, and then I don't know why. This is, you know what, this is also a venue I'm not very much of a fan of. They have, so the bathroom. So there's like a door by like the stage that leads backstage. But the only way to access the bathrooms is if you go through that door. But that door is hard to access when there's a crowd of like girls and the crowd of like the Why Don't We fans. Like, you have to get through that crowd to go to the washroom, which is just so stupid. Like, I don't know why you have to make the bathrooms in the backstage area. Like, why I can't make it more accessible, I don't know. But I had to wash this puke off my arms. I had to squeeze, like it took me literally 5 minutes to squeeze through this, like, and I'm really claustrophobic, so I had to like squeeze through like all these like fans, like screaming, blah, 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 after I had to go downstairs and wash it off. And no, that was my worst nightmare. Like, someone chasing me around with puke is like my worst nightmare. But the good thing that came out of that is that I'm much better now with puke, I guess. Like, I mean, other thing is when I go to like parties and stuff, like I'm like the mother of the friend group or just of all the girls there. So I'm always the one who's like holding your hair back when you're puking because you're drinking too much. So I've been a lot, like I've gotten a lot better with puke, which I guess is just, that's a good thing that came out of it, you know? It was a good thing that came out of it because I got over my fear-ish. Actually, not really. It still kind of bothers me, but like it's not as bad. So thank you, girl who puked on my arm. And then I met the guys again after the show, and one of them refused to hug me because the girl puked on my arm, and I was like, whatever. So thanks, guy from Why Don't We who didn't want to hug me. I was gonna say his name because like I don't know. So so that's fun. Should I tell one more story? If you made it to this part of the video, you've probably had enough of me. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel like at this point, you're probably, like if you got to this point of this video, you're probably sick of me talking, so I think I'm gonna end it right here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time seeing me, subscribe down below. I would appreciate it a ton. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think this is for this video. I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you may be on this planet. I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.